All right, everyone. We have Donna Coles with us, and I am so glad that Donna is able to be with us today because Donna Coles is a licensed professional counselor in North Carolina, and she's been in practice for over 30 years. So she has a wealth of experience. She's very, very helpful to her clients. And I think it was like 3 years ago or so, Donna took my course on telemental health counseling and has taken the course and ran with it. So Donna provides telemental counseling, online counseling to clients. She also provides those services to a healthcare company. So she practices online counseling quite a bit through video conferencing. So Donna, can you share like what got you started in providing online counseling? What got you interested in the first place?
What got me interested in it was the fact that I was relocating from Ohio to North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
So to be able to maintain my contacts with the clients that I had in Ohio, I was able to take your course. If you remember, I was preparing for that.
I remember
so
that.
I would be able to have continuity with the clients that I had in Cleveland. And it's been 3 years, and I'm still working with some of those people, and I have added to the number of folks that I'm providing counseling to because of this platform. So it's been really good.
Great. So that it totally served that purpose then for you. Yeah. I'm just curious because some other people might be curious too. What percentage would you say of your clients transitioned from same location to online counseling when you made that move? And did you offer it to everybody, or what was that like?
I didn't offer it to children.
Okay.
I offered it to later adolescents, and as a matter of fact, there's a young lady that I began to work with when she was a junior in high school. And she's now a sophomore in college.
Okay.
And she and I are still working together because she needed my support to go away to university and to do well. So I'm helping her with study skills and how she can improve her socialization at college. So late adolescence, it worked out really well, and with adults.
Oh, okay. All right. Fantastic. And what percentage of your work in total, like all the psychotherapy that you provide, would you say, what percentage of that is online versus same location?
About a third.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah, about a third. Yeah.
And some of it is private practice. Some of that is private practice, and some of it is providing it for a health insurance company.
No,
is that right?
It's all private practice.
Oh, all private practice.
Insurance companies pay me. I have contracts with insurance companies.
Oh, yes.
But everything is done through my private practice.
I see. All right. Fantastic. And for people to know, well, first, how do your clients find that helpful, seeing you online versus coming to an office?
Well, I see people who may have some difficulty talking about a particular issue face-to-face in my office. And so to talk about issues that are really sensitive, sometimes they prefer to have this kind of platform in order to be able to speak very honestly about what the issues are. Sometimes I have people who travel a lot in their work, and so this allows them the portability, particularly if they work for the airline or if they're in the military, they're moving a lot, traveling a lot, and so no matter where they are, they can still have their session with me, once a month or every other week, wherever we are in the process. Yeah,
and that continuity is really important, not having to switch from therapist to therapist. Yeah, that's great. And what's been helpful for you providing online counseling? What have you seen the benefits to be?
The benefit for me has been that on days when it's been not so good weather, I get to stay home.
Yes, I know how that is. I'm up north.
and still get to be supportive of my clients.
Yes.
And again, I had the continuity because I relocated to another state. I am licensed in Ohio and in North Carolina. So that made it just a no-brainer to be able to utilize what I learned in your course.
Mm-hmm.
Helps me because when I have a couple that I'm seeing and one person has to be out of town, I can still do my couples work by doing it by telephone.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you have particular specialties in terms of working with clients, that people ought to be aware of?
When I'm working with people who are using video and any kind of online or telephonic counseling,
Mm-hmm.
if they are having some difficulties at work, I think that it makes it a lot easier for them to take time during their lunch hour. We have a session, they regroup. When
Yeah.
people are having, marital problems, they're planning to be married and there are some snafus that are coming up as they get closer to the wedding date. If they are having some difficulties that are associated with their health, with physical health, then they don't have to come out, but they can stay at home and we can still have that continuity. People that I work with primarily are adults individually. I work with people who have anxiety, depression, problems at work, problems in their relationships. And also, as people go through different developmental stages of their life, then they could use some supports in being able to understand how to move into those stages and to thrive within them. And so that's the kind of work that I do.
Okay. Yep. Fantastic. Yeah, those kind of things that people really want to work on is a perfect fit for online counseling.
Yeah.
And what did you find difficult in getting into providing online counseling, and how'd you overcome those, challenges or questions that you had, things that you weren't sure about, and how'd you overcome it and kind of get to the place where you're comfortable with providing online counseling?
I had to make sure that people understood that even though I couldn't pick up on their body language,
Mm-hmm.
that I was really good at picking up on inflections in their voice.
Right.
And people had to know that even if I was quiet, that I was still listening. And so at the beginning of my sessions with people, and when I first start with them, I tell them that they'll hear me say, yeah, oh, something that lets them know that I'm still there. But I also let them know that as I'm making these sounds, it's not that I want to cut them off. I just want to reassure them that I'm still there. So what I had to learn to do is to be more vocal in a non-communicating way, if that makes sense.
Right.
I just want to let them know that I'm there.
Right. Yep, because someone might think, well, gee, is she listening to me? Is she still with me? So you're letting them know, hey, I'm engaged. I'm really fully here with you.
But
yeah.
I'm not doing this so that I can cut you off. You keep talking.
Right.
I'm just doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To let you know I'm still here.
Yeah. And the technology's gotten really good, so we could say, yes, while the other person's talking, and still hear each other. So that works really well. All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
And what suggestions would you have for other therapists? And then we'll talk about what suggestions you have for people seeking counseling, but not really sure that they want to actually go to an office, but are considering online counseling. So what recommendations would you have for counselors or social workers, psychologists that are looking into beginning to offer online counseling?
As you were saying that, it brought up another challenge. And this has been consistent, not with everybody, but every once in a while I'll run into this. And that is that when people call in or they, link with their laptop and I'm seeing them, the environment that they're in isn't quiet and it's not confidential. And so even though I tell people on first appointment that they have to make sure that the environment is confidential, that it's quiet, that they don't have distractions, sometimes they're in distracting environments and it distracts me too. So
Right.
I've even had to tell people, okay, pick up your laptop, move to another room, shut the door, and then we'll finish talking. Because you have to have that professionalism, and it needs to be secure.
Right.
So that I would say that from the very beginning, to let people know that the intention is not that this is going to be a chat, but this is really a professional discussion, much as they would have with their doctor, and it needs to have all of their attention and mind too.
Right. Yes, I know what you mean by that, because I've had the similar experiences. And for the client, the client might be thinking, I'm just, it's fine and it's okay. But as the professional, you're like,
the dishes away.
yeah, but hey, it's not best for you, and it's distracting for me, and yeah, that's awesome. That's a really good one to let people know, rather than having to learn it the hard way and feeling through.
Yeah.
I mean, it lets what you're doing is you're letting therapists know you can set those boundaries. You can give that clear direction. And sometimes we really need to, because even though the client thinks it's fine, no, it's our it's our responsibility to kind of really give that clear direction when it comes to that. Yep, that's fantastic.
My suggestion is that people think about the kinds of boundaries and parameters they expect when they have a person face-to-face in their office.
Right.
And it wouldn't be okay for people to answer their cell phones. It's not okay if they're distracted. And it's not okay if you have a lot of calamity going on outside your door. And so it's the same thing. Yeah, just think about what is it that you expect in terms of professionalism if the person was face-to-face, and how are you going to make that happen because there's distance and you're using technology.
Right. And what suggestions would you have for those that are struggling with things? They're interested in getting counseling, psychotherapy. They're not really sure that they want to go into an office, but not sure what online counseling would be like. Any suggestions to people that are possibly seeking counseling that might be listening to this?
I would suggest that they just give it a try.
Uh-huh.
And they talk to the clinician about whether or not they have some experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
And for clinicians that are considering getting into this, I would suggest that they practice with somebody, because that's what I did. I practiced with a couple of friends, and I made sure that, I had the right volume, that I wasn't talking too fast, that I got the inflections, that I got the things that people need in order to know that I'm there and that I care. So my suggestion to people who are considering utilizing the service in order to get assistance, make sure the person has some experience with it, and allow yourself to relax with the idea that even though you can't see everything about this person that's working with you, that they are professional and that they are going to give you their very best. As a matter of fact, sometimes, depending upon the nature of the dog, sometimes I do better on the telephone.
Right.
Because I know that what the person is talking about is embarrassing to them. And so I can be empathic. I can just hear in their voice. Sometimes I'll say, wow, I think that I hear you crying. Why don't we stop and get some tissues, and I'll wait while you come back. Because, when you've done it enough, you can hear the changes in a person's voice, and you go with that.
Right.
You let them know, wow, I hear and I can tell that you're feeling teary.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. And how was the training helpful for you? You took the full credentialing course, so you actually became a
Yes.
credentialed distance counselor through the National Board of Certified
Yes.
Counselors by taking our course. How was that helpful for you in preparing?
One, I can put that on my resume.
Yes.
And for the managed care organizations that are interested, I can tell them that I have formal training in this, and it does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, and I'm not going to mention it, but there are a couple of insurance companies that are going to go live in doing, providing reimbursement for telehealth kinds of services come January. So I'm going to be ready for that.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, is that in terms of compliance, your course was excellent in helping me to identify what I needed to do in order to do this right.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't forgotten those things.
Mm-hmm.
I had never heard of a business associate agreement until your course, and now I've got some business associate agreements because it's the right thing to do, so that I know that organizations that I'm working with to benefit me in terms of what I do as a counselor, that they really are doing what they need to do in order to have the legitimacy that would be important for whatever it is that they do. To understand how to make sure that people know that I'm present, aware. I got that from your course. You know, how to make sure that people know that you're empathic. So, yeah, there was lots that I was able to do.
Well, that's fantastic. And one good place for people to find you is your LinkedIn page, right?
Yes.
All right.
LinkedIn page.
Excellent. So let me share that real quick. Let's go there so everyone can see your LinkedIn page. So here it is. Here's Donna Coles. She not only is a psychotherapist, but she also is a career and executive coach.
Exactly.
So if you want to find out about her services, this would be a good place to go is to her LinkedIn page. All you have to do is put in, search, when you search for people up here at the top, when you go to the search bar, you could choose people. Just put in Donna Coles, career and executive coach, psychotherapist, and she'll come up. You'll be able to see all of her experience. She has a wealth of experience. So yes, well, that's great. So thank you very much, Donna, for sharing all of this with you and helping therapists really understand what that transition's like and how it's really beneficial not only to you but also to your clients and prospective clients, and then giving clients themselves an idea of what it's like, that they're going to be cared for really well. And the thing is just to try it out and set up a nice environment like you would if you're at your office. So excellent.
Right. So again, for prospective clients who are, just kind of shy or anxious about it, this is a good way to start. Work with the person telephonically or by video.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Donna. And we'll talk to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Yep. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.